Hey everybody, welcome back to Getaway Crochet. Today's tutorial is the pumpkin coaster for the month of October. I made it just in time before the end of the month. I apologize for that, but if you saw my last video, obviously circumstances were not conducive to doing tutorials. So, I'm very happy that I get to do this with you guys today, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. For today's tutorial, we are going to need a few things. Let me just move this pumpkin coaster, because technically we haven't made that yet. So we're going to need some yarn. For this pattern, I used a thinner yarn, not sugar and cream. Sugar and cream's a little bit thicker than this, and you can do it with sugar and cream, but there's going to be some adjustments that need to be made, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So first off, you're going to need some orange yarn. I got some Crafter's Secret cotton from Hobby Lobby. That's what I made this one here with. Then you are going to need a 5.5 hook, which I apologize you can't see that barely because of the lighting, but it's a 5.5 hook, and you will need a yarn needle. Alright, so to get started, we are going to start with a chain ring. So start with a slip knot, and you can do that however you see fit. This is just how I make them in all my videos. Okay, so we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are going to slip stitch into the first chain to create our ring. So now we should have a ring. We are going to chain 2. Alright, now we are going to do 15 double crochets in the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Let me just count those to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. Okay, so I just want to show you something. So I actually worked over my tail, so I can actually just weave it in a lot easier in the end, and it pulls together. So if that's how you like to do it, feel free. That's what I like to do when I'm making a round. Working in the round is I like to work over my tail in the main ring there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find the first stitch in the top here, and we're going to slip stitch into it. So it should look like that. Now we are going to chain 2. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet into the same stitch that we just made. So there should be 2 in the first stitch here. Alright, as you can see there, and we are going to do 2 double crochets in every stitch around. 1, 2, Just making sure I got 2 in all my stitches here, which I will double check and count at the end. I believe there's going to be 31 stitches. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I gotta do another one in there. Almost to the end here. Okay, so now this is where things are going to get a little bit different if you're using the sugar and cream yarn. So because this yarn is thinner than sugar and cream, and to fill in the spaces so there's not so many gaps, I am actually going to do a double crochet in this space right here. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain. Oops. To create the circle. Now, if you are using sugar and cream, you can skip that last stitch. So now we're going to count our oh my goodness, stitches. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 30, 31. I have 31 stitches, and if you are skipping that last stitch, if you're using Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, it's thicker, or any thicker cotton, you can do 30 stitches. That's how many you should have. So now what we're going to do is this row is going to be a little bit different. So we are going to chain 1. We are going to do a half double crochet into the first stitch here, the one that we just created, so the same stitch. So now we have 2 half double crochets in here. And now we are going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Now, for anybody who doesn't remember how to do a half double crochet, it's just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all. Okay, so you should have 4 half double crochets here. Now we are going to do two double crochets in the next stitch. Need to get some more yarn unwound here. These ones are difficult because I can't pull them from the center, so I have to pull them and they flop around terribly. So, okay, so 2 double crochets in this stitch here. So we have 4 half double crochets and then 2 double crochets. And then in the next 11 stitches, we are going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now I'm going to make sure that I have 11 sets of 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there should be 12 because we did not count the first one. So 12 total, and that's going to make it look like this. Okay, now we are going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. Alright, so we are creating the bottom now. We did the top earlier, so 2 half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, and that's 1 stitch. Pardon me, I have to unravel my yarn again. I forget how fast I can get going here and use up this yarn. Alright. Alright, so we got our first stitch of half double crochets. So we've got 3 more to do. 1, 2, 1, 2, that should be 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more. 1, 2. Alright. Alrighty, so then next we are going to do 2 double crochets in the next 11 stitches. Now if you are working with sugar and cream yarn, it will probably end up being 10 2 double crochets in each stitch, just because we are doing a higher count with the thinner yarn and we're doing 1 less double crochet with the thick yarn. So if you are using sugar and cream, it would be 10 stitches that you would do 2 double crochets in next. And if you are using thinner cotton like me, you will be doing 11 double crochets. 11 stitches of 2 double crochets, excuse me. It's hard to say that and have it make sense out loud. So, but I will show you what I mean. So if you're confused, just watch. So we're going to do 1 double crochet and 2. That would be the 1 stitch. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and gotta get more yarn here. Now ideally, I would probably have this in a bowl on the floor, however, I don't currently have space around my feet, so that's just something we're gonna have to look at right now. Okay, so I have 1 more stitch to do with 2 double crochets in it. So this will be 11. Alright, and it is going to curl just a little bit right now, but that's okay, we can just press it flat. I did notice when I made it with the sugar and cream yarn that if it's too tight it will really curl, but if you're okay just using the same pattern, that's absolutely fine. You're just going to have to block it and stretch it out to make it lay flat. Otherwise it will have a little bit of a curl. Okay, so in the last stitch here, we are going to do 2 half double crochets. 1, 2. And then we are going to find this first stitch here and slip stitch into it. Alright, so our pumpkin coaster should look like this currently. What do you think about that? Isn't that nice? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. There's stuff going on outside my window. All right, so we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next 3 chains. So that's going to look like this. So we chain 1, slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch. Okay. Then we are going to do half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. I bet. Nope, I take that back. We're not going to do doubles because, you know, I couldn't read my own handwriting. How sad is that? So we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the next of the 3 stitches. My apologies, guys. All right. That didn't look right to me. I was like, nope, don't think that was right. Okay, so half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 2, 3. So our coaster should look like this so far. And then we're going to do a half double crochet into the next 22 stitches. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Get some more yarn here. I will have to get this space thing figured out before our next tutorial. So I'm not having all this stuff on my desk. I did not get a chance to clean off my desk, which is why we're like that right now. So, okay, now I gotta count because I forgot where I was. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, okay. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. All right, so here's what our coaster's looking like thus far. All right, so after that, we are going to single crochet in the next 8 stitches. So we did the first 3, so we slip stitched into the first 3 chains. Then we did 3 half double crochets, and then we added another 22 half double crochets around. I just want to clarify that, since I got all befuddled there, because I couldn't read my own handwriting, which is never a good thing. Okay, so now we are going to do a single crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Then what we're going to do is we are going to half double crochet in the next 23 stitches. And if you are using Lily Sugar and Cream, it'll be 21 stitches for you. Oh goodness. And then I knocked over my camera. I am so sorry. Oh my goodness. See, it's just, it's a hot mess, I tell ya. Alright, let's see if we can not knock over our camera now. apologies, guys. I really need to get this filming space figured out. Okay, so half double crochet in the next 23 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Every time I do a new tutorial, I'm trying a different area on my desk to see what's working best, and this one's actually working better than the last one, so that's good. I just need to not knock over my camera. But this is the reality of my life. It's just chaos. And because I can't edit any of this, you're just getting all of it. So, okay. So there, I just did 2, so now I need 3, 20 more, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Alright guys, here's what our pumpkin coaster's looking like. Alrighty, then what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch into the next 2 spaces and tie off. I'm going to make sure I did 23 stitches first. Okay. Yep, I did. Okay, then we are going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get your hook in these stitches, all right, because we are doing slip stitches into slip stitches, so it's going to be a tight fit. So here's what we should have right now, and what I'm going to do is this is going to be the end of the orange. So I'm going to pull up on my hook, create a little loop, grab my scissor, and then I'm going to tie off, and I'm not going to weave in my tail just yet because I'm going to work over it with the next color. So now I need to get my brown, so bear with me, I have to grab it. There we go. Okay, so I got my brown, which is another Crafter's Secret thinner yarn. All right. Now I'm going to tie on a knot on my hook. You can slip stitch if you choose. I like to tie knots, it just makes it more secure for myself. I'm gonna move this other yarn so I don't knock over my camera again. Make room for this yarn. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a stitch on this side over here, and I am probably gonna go into this one here. It doesn't really matter, it's for your stem, so however thick you want to make your stem. So we're gonna just slip stitch into the stitch. Okay, and then I'm gonna work over the tail while I'm doing this. So then Oh, excuse me. I'm going to chain one. Then I am going to single crochet in the next stitch. And in the next 3 stitches. So with the one that I tied the knot off of, I actually am working in that stitch. It's just going to be a little bit farther over. So I'm going to make sure that I work over my tail. So I'm going to tuck my little orange tail back here. And then pull through, and that's going to be a little tight. Okay. So we got 2 more. So we got this one here. That would be 3 and 4. Okay, so that is the base of our stem. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we are going to turn our work. So we're looking at the back end of the pumpkin. And we are going to half double crochet into this stitch right here, which is the first one at the base. All right, and then in every stitch across. Okay, so in total for those stitches, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5 stitches there. I'm going to chain 1 and do 1 last row. So I'm going to turn my work again. I have the front facing here. All right. Now I'm going to do half double crochet into each stitch, starting with this beginning one here. And the last one. Alright guys, that is the end of the stem for me. If you want to make your stem longer, you certainly can. If you wanted to make it shorter, you certainly can do that. I just like a medium-sized stem, so that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to pull up on my yarn. I'm going to move my camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it doesn't fall down again. Alright, I'm going to snip my yarn, pull up, and tie off. Okay, so this is what your pumpkin coaster is going to look like. And you know what? It's okay if it's a little bit off with the stem. I actually made it so it looks just a tad off because pumpkins are not perfect, right? No pumpkin I've seen is ever perfectly even on both sides, and the stem never looks perfect either. So I wanted it to be pretty dang realistic for a pumpkin, which is why we don't have even amounts of stitches on each side. So that's what our pumpkin should look like. Now we're going to weave in our ends. I like to start with the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn needle, wherever the heck that went. There it is. Okay, I'm going to insert my needle into this ring of stitches we created here, which can be a little bit difficult to get through most of them. Alright, so that's what it's going to look like. Then I'm going to take this long tail here and pull it through. Okay. And then cinch it up and tie a knot. I like to leave a longer tail. I did not this time, and I'm kind of regretting it now. Alright, so then I got that tied. So we're going to snip the end at the knot there. Now we are going to weave in this last orange tail here. And I'm going to do so right here. Now you can weave it in however you want. I am just going to choose to weave it in back here because I think that is going to work the best. I tied a knot. I always tie a knot at the end of weaving in just so it doesn't come unraveled really simply. And try not to cut my finger off. Then I'm going to weave in the ends on this, so I'm just going to take this end and go back through the stitches here. Okay, there's that. Pull it tight, and I'm going to tie a knot, as I always do. You certainly don't have to if you just want to keep weaving it in and out of different stitches. If that's how you do it, all power to you. Everybody has their own way. I just, as being self-taught, just to secure it a little bit more so it doesn't unravel, I prefer to do that. Then we are going to weave in our last end and finish it up. Now, let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm going to go backwards through these stitches here. Now, for the top of my work, what I like to do is when I insert the yarn in here and then pull it through, I like to hold the knot I created just so it doesn't pull way into it. And then I can control it a little bit better. So then, now if you want to go all the way through, you certainly can do that. Again, I'm just going to tie it off here. All right. There we are. We have made ourselves a pumpkin coaster. How about that? I hope you enjoy that for the month of October. I hope it was simple and easy to understand for you guys. If you have any questions or thoughts or have issues with if you're working with Lily's Sugar and Cream, please feel free to message me in the comments. I did write down next to my own pattern notes on here what it's actually gonna be with Lily's Sugar and Cream. So when I told you to insert you know what I mean. When I told you the stitches while working in the tutorial, that's what best I found. So, I will leave it at that. This is this is a raw tutorial. Obviously, I don't have editing software, so my camera falls over, you're gonna see it. I get messed up on reading my handwriting for my own pattern, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna see me fuddle-buddle a little bit. And then I forget my brown yarn to put the stem on my things, and that's also something you're gonna see. That's just the reality of my situations. So, but we made a pumpkin together today, and I hope you enjoy using it this month, for what's left of the month anyway, and you can also use it into next month. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Bye.